and Council President Rodriguez are present. Are we on?
Yes.
Eileen? Okay. So we have the roll, attendance has been taken, approval of minutes. Motion by Massey, seconded by Rodriguez. For the minutes of what date you approving here, Mr. Massey?
They don't have any on there. There is none.
Okay. So we don't need to approve the minutes, huh? All right, so Mr. Massey is wrong. So he's going to withdraw his motion.
As usual, no, I take.
Welcome back, Mr.
I take
Massey.
full blame for
Okay.
it.
We are
thank
like
you.
loaded for bear tonight, hang on.
New business, 3.1 item, authorization to relevy the 2023 miscellaneous delinquent tax bills, or delinquent bills, not tax bills, delinquent bills. These are just like service bills. To the 2025 tax roll, Leonora is requesting the Board of Estimate authorize the relevy from 19 through 23 of miscellaneous delinquent bills into the 25 real property tax amounts in the amount of $71,120.35. It addresses 77 parcels. And this is like snow charges and things of that nature?
So it's lawn, bulk pickup. We have a miscellaneous DPW for $52,000, water miscellaneous, and garbage cans.
Okay. So motion by myself,
Second.
second by Massey. Any further comments or questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.2, authorization for the temporary borrowing in the amount of $2 million for traffic operations current bill. Jacob Two Wheels respectfully requesting a temporary borrowing from the general fund in the amount of $2 million to cover current traffic operation bills. A reimbursement in the amount of $2.5 million submitted on 10/1/24 has been delayed and is expected on December 18th. So this would be a temporary borrowing from general fund balance, $2 million to traffic operations. Motion by
So moved.
Massey, seconded by
Second.
Rodriguez. Jacob, just for the record, this is not additional spending. This is just a cash flow issue that you and I spoke about earlier on Leonora, and it puts no burden on us. And the reason for the delay is that the state reimbursements are being delayed, and we have to pay the contractor, correct?
That's right. We have $2.5 million that are coming to us in middle of next month.
Right. And we have do we have a legal obligation to pay them within 30
Yes.
days?
Yes, we do.
So that's by
The
contract?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so if we don't pay them within 30 days, there's potential penalties to us?
Yeah, there are potential litigation they might do against us, yes.
Okay. All right, so we have motion by Massey, seconded by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.3, authorization to accept the Pitney Bow renewal of the 60-month lease agreement. Leonora Liz requesting approval to accept the renewal of Pitney Bow's equipment lease agreement and authorization for the mayor to sign. The lease agreement would include updating the current postage meter machine that is no longer in compliance with the USPS. The rate will be $1,821.03 billed quarterly. Motion by myself,
Second.
seconded by Massey. Leonora, can you just give us 1 minute on the status?
So the current lease is actually up in April, but because our postage machine is out of compliance, they are telling us that we have to update the machine before December 1st. Therefore, they're requiring us to renew the lease now. However, I am also looking at other postage machine vendors just to make sure that that rate is competitive.
Any further questions?
Nope.
So if we don't go with the Pitney Bows, if you're able to arrange another vendor, we would come back and vote on this again, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 3.4, authorization to approve Phase 2 finished LP water main replacement of the EPA and grant proposal for review and consideration. Find the attached bond, or the attached proposal dated 11/18/24 from Barton and Lowe Judas for engineering, construction, administration, and observation services in the amount of $587,700 for Phase 2 of the water system improvement replacement of approximately 5,000 to 6,400 linear feet, of 24-inch with 36-inch diameter low-pressure water mains from the wastewater, or from the water treatment plant to some point on Monhegan. Project was submitted through Congressman Pat Ryan for congressional appropriations and was awarded $3.5 million in grant with a 20% required local match for a total project budget of $4,375,000. The city's share of 20% is $875,000 to be bonded and may start off as a band funding. BNL was selected through the federal process of request for qualifications. Jacob has reviewed the BNL proposal and finds it to be responsive and reasonable, and is requesting BNL proposal in the amount of $587,700, authorize the commencement of the work, establish a project funding line and bonding authorization for the city share, and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents. Motion by myself.
Second.
Second by Massey. Jacob?
Didn't we do this project?
That's the second phase. That's phase 2.
This is phase 2?
Yes, this is the 24-inch, so I'll talk about it. It's the 24-inch low-gravity water line that comes from the water treatment plant and along 211 Monhegan Avenue into Oliver Avenue and all the way down to West Main Street, and it branches from there. So this is the low pressure, the only one 24-inch low pressure that comes from the water treatment plant. The one you are speaking of, we just finished, is the 20-inch high pressure water main. That's the other system, and that's we just did.
What's the age of the line we're replacing? Approximate?
It's about 100, less than 100 years. Now we're going to be doing a detailed, part of the proposal is to do a detailed analysis of the existing pipe, if there's any life, and estimated life expectancy of the remaining pipe. If anything is remaining, then we will try to keep it in service to give us additional capacity. But we are replacing this line, the 24-inch, with possibly 36-inch line in there, because that's the only line that supplies the low pressure water to the system, which is the most
And let me guess, right down Monhegan Avenue?
right on the other side of Monhegan. You're on Walslayer Field side. Yep. And
Is it in the street or on the sidewalk again?
it's going to be on the side of the street. We'll find the exact location. It's not been determined yet. We've done the survey. We're going to pick the best place for it. But that's part of life. We can't wait, until we do something. And the other, we just paved it, and it was, we got to do what we got to do to keep our projects going. It's $3.5 million through Congressman Ryan, through the federal funding, and we're only paying 20%. So before you tonight is request to authorize to approve BNL as the consulting engineer for the project, Barton and LeJudas, and they are the same ones who did the high pressure water main for us. They worked for us on that, and authorizing the treasurer to do the borrowing when needed for our share, the 20%.
We don't have to use the same vendor that we did before with the wrong pipe and,
Yeah, no, it's going to be public bid.
okay.
It's going to be public bid, and so
Okay, any other questions? Motion was by myself, it was seconded by Massey, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Item 3.5, authorization to approve the proposal from WSP in the amount of $60,000 for the RAISE grant application. Attached is the draft proposal from WSP to assist the city in applying for the RAISE grant with a cost not to exceed $60,000, which will include replacement of significant amounts of curbs and sidewalks and bringing the same to ADA standards. This project will build on the current traffic operations project and the previous DOT curb and sidewalk project that was completed 5 years ago. Total project cost, if successful in obtaining grants, will be $20 to $25 million. There will be a 20% local match. The deadline for the grant submittal is January 30th, 2025. A conference call was set up between myself, Mr. Tawil, and WSP this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and to discuss the proposal in further detail. Jacob Tawil hereby requests to authorize the treasurer to transfer funding from the general fund balance in the amount of $60,000 to traffic operations. Motion by myself, seconded by
Second.
Rodriguez. And Jacob, you want to touch on that we'll be applying for the same money through another,
Yes.
through Orange County Transportation.
Yeah, absolutely. The mayor and I, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now. As you know, we've done tremendous amount of curbs and sidewalks in the city. It's major facelift, major quality of life issue. Everybody's very thrilled about it. It's painful while constructing it, but once it's done, and you can see the result for yourself. Now, the mayor wants to carry this on for the rest of the city as much as we can. We have very poor sidewalks throughout. People don't have the funding to take care of it themselves, and it's a big problem. So hopefully, we'll be able to do what we've done here throughout the city as much as we can, and we can apply for a grant from $20 to $25 million. This is a specialty work. I cannot do it in the back of a napkin. It has to have a special team. They have PhDs, WSP, and they're PhD people who are willing to work on this grant for us to rush it in so that it will be submitted by January 1st. There's going to be some consideration for adding bicycle lanes in there, if bicycle routes, if our roads allow for them, although we have narrow roads mostly, but if they allow for them, they will give us that recommendation. So it's really an extensive cost-benefit analysis in there to bring all our curbs and sidewalks in compliance with ADA. Why WSP? I have to disclose that my son, he graduated from college. He's a civil engineer. He works for them. He had many offers, and he chose to work for them in Westchester County. He will not be associated with any of this work, just for...
We're going to go through the Clark Patterson
Oh,
Lee
every
disclosure
time?
every meeting.
We're going to go
No,
through
no,
this?
no, just
We're all aware of it. We can put it on the record
That's
Like
permanently
19 years
so that
already.
we don't have to.
Put a sign up.
Before it was different
Little
circumstances.
Jacob worked for WSP.
Before it was different circumstances, Your Honor. We
Can you
had
just
to-
answer a question?
Yeah.
The grant proposal, will it give us an estimate on how many linear feet of sidewalk that this
Yes.
will address?
Exactly, exactly.
And that will
Once-
be part of the grant research or submission.
Yes, and we'll be focusing on where we stopped with our curbs and sidewalks and then expanding outward.
Into neighborhoods. We're trying to go into residential neighborhoods.
Yeah, with
That
emphasis-
currently have sidewalks. We're not looking to put sidewalks where people don't have sidewalks.
No, exactly.
What about the telephone poles in the middle of the new sidewalk?
They're acceptable where they are. The ones we moved, whatever we had to move, many poles have been moved. Some of them stayed because they don't have to move, and they are significant, and they don't have, they don't violate any of the ADA, ADA compliance or requirement. Just to mention, Mayor, we want to emphasize also in the schools to encourage walkers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
the
what we
safe
talk-
path to school, but that's not this money, right? That's a
No,
separate,
this money too.
this is part of that?
Yeah, it's going to expand where we stopped, expand outward, and focus around the schools too, to make sure that they are safe and they are tripping hazard and all that stuff. They're not tripping hazard. So that's the,
Any other questions? Well, Jerry, you're not on the board, but you can ask a question if you like.
Thank you, Jacob. I thought you said the grant submission's due by January 1st?
end of January.
25th.
The end of January. It
Yes.
says the 30th. I want to make sure that's correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Roll call, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Massey? Aye, okay. All right, no other business to come for the Board of Estimate. Call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. All in favor? Aye.
Board of Estimate is complete.